for liftoff in T-minus 30.
Stand by for further instructions, Minnesota Black Robe Regiment.
Secondary guidance systems engaged.
Minnesota Black Robe Regiment, it will be on my mark.
All systems are a go. All systems are a go.
Minnesota Black Robe Regiment, you are over the target. You are authorized to fire at will.
Well, I want to say good Sunday afternoon, but well, I hope you are having a good Sunday afternoon. I really do. I'm TC, this is MBRR Media, Minnesota Black Robe Regiment. We are about to dive into 8 minutes of the most infuriating, terrible thing you have ever seen in your life. I have been sitting on this for a week. I've been sitting on this video for a week. It is the most shocking, egregious, reckless, and disturbing, absolutely disgusting case of law enforcement malfeasance, criminal behavior that I have ever seen in my life. And the reason that I say that is because this isn't just about a cop who has gone astray and is abusing his power against someone who is probably a criminal. Hey, Skipper, thanks for that. Right out of the gate. Thank you, everybody. Please share this. This is not just about a cop who's lost it with an uncooperative individual and is about to, destroy his career. This is about Trooper Ryan Moeser of the Minnesota State Patrol last year on April 9th, driving in such a way with such clear disregard for his responsibilities as a cop that he cannot control his vehicle. And you have never seen this video before. No one else has seen this video before. And I shouldn't say no one. Family has seen this, and they have provided this to me, and we are going to show you why Trooper Ryan Moeser is not merely just negligent. He is criminal. He is criminal, and I'm going to explain to you why. This is one of the shortest state statutes you will ever read in any state. This is Minnesota State Statute 169.17. Oh, it was 169.16. So let's see if we can find the right statute here real quick. Yeah, it's 169. Yeah, never mind. I had it right. It's 169.16. And 169.16, those of you that are watching on portrait, you should be able to see this pretty well. Or in landscape, you should be able to see this pretty well. 169.17 says emergency vehicles. The speed limitation set forth in sections 169.14 to 169.17 do not apply to an authorized emergency vehicle responding to an emergency call. Drivers of all emergency vehicles shall sound an audible signal by siren and display at least one lighted red light to the front, except that law enforcement vehicles shall sound an audible signal by siren or display at least one lighted red light to the front. This provision does not relieve the driver of an authorized emergency vehicle from duty to drive with due regard for the safety of persons using the street, nor does it protect the driver of an authorized emergency vehicle from the consequence of a reckless disregard of the safety of others. So we're going to get this right out of the gate right now. This does not protect cops from driving like asshats just because they have their emergency lights on. Okay, I want you to understand this. Cops do not get to drive like asshats because they have their emergency lights on and they claim they're responding to an emergency. $169.17. If you don't believe me that this is what it says, then that's on you. Go look up Minnesota State Statute 169.17. If you want to come in here and you want to be a bootlicker and you want to say back the blue and all of that, you need to go read that statute for yourself. We just put it up. I read it to you. In my time in the law enforcement career field, I was a deputy inside of an adult detention center. I have seen massive assaults. I have seen very gory, very graphic after effects of assaults. I have seen attempts at self-deletion. I have been there when it's happened. I have intervened. I have saved self-deletion lives. I have been there in the aftermath of a successful self-deletion. I have seen egregious things. I have seen terrible things in my life. I have seen violence. I have seen death. I have seen self-deletion. I have seen people delete others or attempt to delete others. Never in my life, as bad as the video of what happened to Sonia Massey down in Illinois, as bad as that was, as bad as what happened to the poor young man out in Scottsdale, Arizona. I have never seen anything as bad as what you're about to see. So when I tell you this is bad, comparatively to the other things that I have seen, you have never seen anything this bad. You have never seen anything that should outrage you. You have never seen anything that would outrage most bootlickers. But if you come into this as a bootlicker, if you have come into this as a hardcore back to blue, cops can do no wrong, and as long as they're following the law, then everything's fine, and you don't walk away from what we're about to watch, and this is I'm delaying this not to just build audience. I am delaying this so that we have some time to build up past that 5-minute mark, because what you're about to see is terrible. This is horrible. Oh. And Microsoft, of course. The computer. Here we go. This is terrible. This is going to infuriate you. It's going to disturb you. And I don't care. I want it to. This is April 9th. April 9th of last year. April 9th of last year, folks. April 9th. At a little after 9 o'clock p.m. In the dark. Blake and his brother Braxton and a friend of theirs are driving home from prom outfit fittings. And Dale Braun, an elderly gentleman, has been seen driving down the wrong way. He's headed west on an eastbound lane, is my understanding, or east on the westbound lane. It's been called in. And what you're about to see is the response of Trooper Ryan Moeser, the Minnesota State Patrol. What you're about to watch is this criminal miscreant and his response. Here we go. And I want you to note down here on the bottom screen, the top screen is his actual dash cam. The bottom screen is the vehicle dash cam with the speeds and whatnot included. And you note, before he even gets the call, before he starts responding, he's already doing 73. He's already breaking the law. No lights, no sirens. I don't know what's happening. Of course, this is what happens when you try to do this. So as I said, no sound for the first 30 seconds or so because that's how these systems are set up. And I will be putting this up without commentary afterwards. But I want you to note, before he even gets the call, he's already at 74 miles an hour. So he's speeding. He's already speeding, already violating. He's roughly 10 miles an hour. But look, he's accelerating because he got the call. So we're going to get the click and the sound. Now watch these speeds. And watch you see how, or he's already accelerated to over 100 miles an hour. Right after he got the call, he's already accelerating to over 100. Now remember, he's rushing towards a wrong way driver in the dark of night. Share this out, folks. Hit that like if you haven't yet. Now watch the screen up here, top screen. That's very important. He doesn't have his sirens on yet, which is required by law to do. Here's the siren. Now watch him. See his computer here? Top screen. See his computer? Watch how he's passing people. I also want you to pay attention to his lane drift. You're going to understand his lane drift here. Very important. Look at these speeds. He's up to 119 miles an hour already. You hear it in the engine, folks. You hear the engine. You hear the frame of the vehicle. Look at him. He's over here. He's on his computer. Playing with the computer, folks. He's driving one-handed at 100 miles an hour, playing with his computer, doing something on that computer. You can see that he's lane drifting. Wonder why he's lane drifting. Why do you think he's lane drifting? Why do you think there's lane drifting going on? There's lane drifting going on because this asshat cop is playing with his computer, and he's traveling at speeds way too fast for the time of day as he's rushing towards what he believes is a wrong way driver. What's he think he's going to do? Only one hand. I don't know if you guys saw that. He has something else in his hand here. Go back just a little bit. Not pull with his hand. Grab what you could. You'll see it right here. There, he had his phone. That was his phone, folks. That was his phone. That's a phone. That's a phone. He has his phone in his hand. Cop has a phone in his hand at 118, 120 miles an hour. Playing with his computer, phone in his hand. Not done with that computer yet. Are you pissed off yet? Are you watching this? Are you watching this? Please share this out. Hit the like button. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do so. Always love to have more channel members as well. But are you paying attention to the cop driving, playing with his computer, having his phone in his hand, 120 miles an hour, driving towards a wrong way driver? And this is very important because you're going to see what reaction time looks like, because he gets up to over 126 miles an hour. Not done yet. Some of these vehicles don't even have time to realize it. Stop yet. I've got to play with that computer. There we go. Got to play with it. Make sure we get. Yep. Play with your computer while you're driving. 124 miles an hour. Touching that screen, playing with it. Not paying attention to where he's at. You want to know why this accident happened? You want to know why? You can see it right there on the screen. 126 miles an hour, and he was just on that computer. Now, I want to remind you that Minnesota State Statute 169.17 says he's allowed to violate speed laws. He's allowed to break the law, violate speed, to exceed speed limit. He's allowed to do that when he's responding to an emergency, which is great. Go save some lives. But he's not excused from driving with due care. He's at 126 miles an hour. We've already seen that he has had his phone in his hand. Now he's over here playing with his computer. He's driving one-handed like he's just out for a Sunday stroll, one hand on the steering wheel. This is nothing to him. He doesn't care. He doesn't care. This son of a bitch doesn't care about anybody, but he's going to get that arrest. He's going to get that wrong way driver. And boy, does he. 128 miles an hour. We're going to go back a little bit and we're going to just walk. Seven, 128.
Start medical. Start medical.
Western Highway 10 between 187 and 188.
I'm trapped in the car.
So what you didn't see, thankfully, is that the wrong way driver, elderly gentleman Dale Braun, turned in front of Blake as he was driving his truck eastbound. And they had a minor collision, very, very, very minor collision. Ultimately, nobody was really hurt. Blake and Braxton immediately get out of their car to go check out of the truck to go check on Dale, because they're good people. They're good kids. They're adult in their mindset. They get out to go check the other driver to make sure everything's okay when this guy comes on scene. And you want to know something? He didn't know about the accident. He just knew he was out looking for a wrong way driver. So if you say, well, he knew there was an accident. No, he didn't. He did not know. The accident had not been reported yet. And that's when this criminal cop, driving with criminal disregard for the safety and well-being of the people that he is responsible for protecting and serving, that he is charged with providing for their safety. This criminal asshat cop doing over 126 miles an hour, nearly 130 miles an hour, can't be bothered to drive with both hands on the wheel, can't be bothered to not play with the computer, can't be bothered to not have had his phone in his hand at one point, can't be bothered to pay attention, can't be bothered to drive in keeping with his headlight reach, hits the wrong way driver whose vehicle is now parked, and then collides with Blake, who is not in a vehicle, and paralyzes Blake from the neck down, shatters nearly every bone in his lower body. Can't be bothered. And he can get out and walk away.
Always got medical as priority.
And do I want him do I want him to be hurt? Yeah, I kind of do. I do kind of want him to have been hurt, if I'm being brutally honest. I do kind of want him to get hurt.
I think the wrong way. It's way behind me.
Hey, your opinion is duly noted. So you're going to come on here and defend the cop and call me and say I've become a scum-sucking maggot? We don't need you here. If that's how you feel. If you're going to defend this, if you're going to defend this asswipe, if you're going to defend this cop, I don't care about you. Call me a scum-sucking maggot. Get bent.
Fuck.
Yeah,
Maybe
Texas,
eastbound lanes west of Clear Lake. They were stopped in the eastbound lanes as I was coming up.
Are we blocking any lanes?
Yeah, all of eastbound to be blocked.
And bro, still 1032 traffic at 2110. Copy 2110.
36 out, give on a call. Shout when you got a chance to.
Copy. Thanks on 624.
There's a signboard right above us. Can you put up the signboard?
Signboard.
Thank God, yes, it's 5.
you see how far he's had to walk? Does that give you any idea how fast he was traveling? That he's had to walk this far after wrecking his vehicle, getting out and being able to walk away and leaving Blake Moeser paralyzed on the middle of the road.
One plate's going to be Mary Yellow Nora 081.
And this is Blake's truck. Like I said, this video will be up, unedited, unredacted, for people to watch. And you want to come in here and you want to defend the cops and you want to say, look, it wasn't his fault. No, it is his fault. And there's only one person who deserved to be hurt. There's only one person who deserved to be paralyzed after that accident, and it was Ryan Moeser, Trooper Ryan Moeser, who, by the way, still has his goddamn job. But he's out on personal leave right now because the family has filed a lawsuit against the Minnesota State Patrol and against Trooper Ryan Moeser in his capacity, both as a trooper and in his private and personal life. But he's out on personal leave. He's out on personal leave. Oh, Ryan Moeser needs to take some time off after he almost killed 4 people. No, but first he was out on administrative leave while they investigated him. While the Sherburne County Sheriff's Office and the Sherburne County Attorney's Office investigated him for months and months and months. And then only after they had spent their time investigating him and watched all this video, then they announced that there was a potential for a conflict of interest, and they passed it on to Dakota County. And then Dakota County had it for a few weeks, and then they decided, oh, there's nothing to see here. He was just doing his job. Just doing his job. That's all. He's just doing his job. He can't help it. He can't help it. It's not his fault. Not only is it not his fault, we're just going to go ahead and we're going to charge the wrong way driver. Folks, we're going to charge the wrong way driver. We're going to charge Dale Braun with the crimes. We're going to charge the guy who made a bad mistake. He did. He made a bad mistake. Dale Braun made a bad mistake that night. He screwed up. He went down the wrong way. Dale Braun made a decision to drive the wrong way, or he made a decision to turn and ended up going the wrong way. And that's bad, and it endangered people's lives. But he did not endanger as many lives as Trooper Ryan Moeser did that night, and he did not severely injure anyone that night. And the only reason that anyone is in a wheelchair today, the only reason that anyone has a severe eye injury today, poor Braxton, the only reason that Dale Braun is now deceased is because immediately after this accident, and he ends up going into a long-term care facility where he passes away from what I believe is the stress and the anxiety that was caused by Trooper Ryan Moeser. But Trooper Ryan Moeser is exonerated by the Dakota County Attorney's Office, who says he was merely doing his job. I want you to think about this. We're going to watch it again, folks. We are going to watch it one more time, not the whole thing, but we're going to watch it again right before, because if you haven't had enough, and if this hasn't pissed you off, then there's no hope for you. None. There's no fucking hope for you if you could watch this and come away and say, I back the blue no matter what. Because you know what? Back the blue until it happens to you, because this family lives with this every goddamn day. This family wakes up every day, and it's the same thing every day. Blake wakes up with this every day. His sister, his mother, his grandparents, all of his friends, they all wake up to this every day. And you want to back the blue. So we're going to watch it again for you. Just a part. And he's accelerating as he's playing with his computer. 126, 127, 128 miles an hour. No shit.
medical.
Had enough yet? Had enough yet? How many times you want to see it? Bear with me here, folks. I don't know why it's not showing. It's probably better off if I'm not on cam right now. I don't know why it's not putting me up there. Oh, I know why. Whoops. I don't know how Blake survived. What was the top speed again? I think I counted 129 miles an hour just a second before impact. I'll be damned if I just cave in and say he couldn't help it. It's not his fault. You're right. I'm so wrong. I'm so sorry. I'm so incredibly sorry. It's all my fault. I'm getting it wrong. This is all me. It's all on me. No, it's not. This happened. This all happened because we have turned a blind eye. We have turned a blind eye to law enforcement accountability. We have turned a blind eye to the reality that no one is holding law enforcement and other government entities accountable. See, this isn't just an issue of Trooper Ryan Moeser getting away with this. This is the Sherburne County Sheriff's Office, the Sherburne County Attorney's Office, sitting on this for months and months and months on end, sitting on it until they pass it off to another county who sat on it for weeks. And then they just passed it off. And waiting for Dale Braun to pass away. And why? Because if they charge Dale Braun after he dies, guess what there won't be, folks? If the person you want to charge with the crime is dead, you can't take him to court. You can't find him guilty. You can't penalize them. You can't throw him in jail. You can't put him on probation. You can't put him on parole. You can't charge him you can't give him a fine. You can't do anything with him. So there's no resolution. The case isn't closed because the case has got to remain open because the person you want to put in jail is deceased. So you can cover this up. And the problem with this, folks, is that this isn't a one-off for the Minnesota State Patrol. Hear me, this is not a one-off. This is a second accident involving a trooper in the state of Minnesota in less than a year's time. Because 1 year, actually 11 months prior to this, Trooper Shane Roper was doing 84 miles an hour in a 30-mile-an-hour section when he murdered Olivia Flores in Rochester, Minnesota at a stoplight when he was running without lights and sirens looking for a speeder on a surface road. Guess who broke that story? Guess who got the information about Trooper Shane Roper and put it out before the rest of the mainstream media in this godforsaken state? And everybody's, oh, the media in Minnesota hates law enforcement. No, it doesn't. The media in Minnesota wasn't interested in Shane Roper's case until it became clear that nobody was going to shut up and let that go away. The media hasn't paid very much attention to this case. They've done a little bit, but boy, it's one-offs here. We'll do a couple of segments on it and we'll talk to the family, but we won't run all their comments. The mainstream media doesn't, they do everything they can in their power to stay on the good side of law enforcement in the state of Minnesota so they don't lose access. Well, I don't have access and I don't care about access. What I care about is that Blake Moeser is in a wheelchair for the rest of his life. And Trooper Ryan Moeser is out on personal leave because it's personal. It's personal. I've met Blake face to face. I have seen countless pictures and I have seen videos, and I'm going to be putting out some more stuff. I wrote some lyrics for a song, and then I had AI. I'm going to show you guys this. I had AI do it, and I'm making a music video for that. I didn't write the song. I wrote lyrics, and then I had AI put it to music for me. 2 of them actually. And we're going and I am making the music videos for those. But just last week on Thursday, on the anniversary of this incident, of this criminal behavior, this wasn't an accident. Accident implies it couldn't be avoided. No, this could have been avoided. If he hadn't been looking at his computer and playing with it, if he hadn't been playing with his phone, if he hadn't been driving at 130 miles an hour, maybe he could have avoided the accident. Maybe he could have sacrificed his life and taken a tree instead of trying to kill this young man. And people are like, that's terrible. Why? Because that's his duty, is to lay down his life for other people. We hear this all the time. When everybody else is running away, cops run to the danger. They put their lives on the line. They lay their lives down. You don't get shot at for a living. You don't get assaulted for a living. You don't understand what it's like. You don't get to make those split-second decisions. Look, Ryan Moeser wouldn't have had to make a split-second decision if he hadn't been driving in such a way that only split seconds would have made a difference. And the commander of the Minnesota State Patrol, Colonel Christine Bogovic, instead of doing the right thing and terminating Ryan Moeser, protects him. And now he's out on leave after the lawsuit's announced. Now, I have some theories. I have some theories about why he's out on leave. Personal leave. He's got some personal things he's got to deal with. I think they're getting ready to try and get rid of him, but they can't terminate him because they already determined that he didn't do anything wrong. We've investigated ourselves here in the system in Minnesota, and we've determined we've done nothing wrong. But they know he's a liability. Something tells me deep inside of his discipline files, he's been counseled about. He's been disciplined. He's been written up for this before. Something tells me that. But I think he's looking for a different job. He's going to go off to some little podunk, nondescript agency somewhere that's desperate for a body that they don't have to train, and he's gonna gracefully resign from the Minnesota State Patrol, and he's gonna get hired by this other agency, and they're not gonna care because he's been adjudicated already without even having to go to the criminal system. He's been adjudicated not guilty. It's not his fault. It's Dale Braun. It's Dale Braun, the old man. It's his fault. Dale Braun ruined all these lives. Dale Braun even ruined poor Trooper Ryan Moeser's life. Trooper Ryan Moeser's life was ruined because Dale Braun chose to drive the wrong way down the highway in Sherburne County that night. And how he's ruined everybody's lives. Poor Trooper Ryan Moeser. He needs some personal time. That poor guy. But they need him to go, but they can't terminate him because they don't have anything to terminate him for. And so he's getting paid to go look for another job, and he's going to take another job, and they're going to quietly announce that he's moved on to a new agency, and they're going to cut their losses there. But we're not done. This isn't going away. This video is going to go into the hands of Brian from Here's the Deal, High Impact Flicks. This video that we just watched, Brian from High Impact Flicks, Here's the Deal. He's getting this video. I'm a nothing. I'm a nobody. I'm lucky if 500 people watch this. But we're getting this into the hands of at least Here's the Deal. Might even try to get it into the hands of the civil rights attorney. Might even try to get it into the hands of Southern Draw Law. Might even try to get it into the hands of Lackluster. Might even try to get it into the hands of, I don't know, Detective Matt Thornton. I'm not done, Colonel Bogovic. I'm not done, Minnesota State Patrol. I'm not done, Ryan Moeser. And if you do leave the Minnesota State Patrol and you find another agency, we're going to find you there, and we're going to make sure that everybody in that jurisdiction knows what you've done. We're going to haunt you. We're going to haunt you, Ryan Moeser, because you're a public servant, and I'm not going to rest until you're held accountable for this. Well, I can't do anything, and I wouldn't. I'm a nonviolent guy. I'm an adherent to the non-aggression principle. I am a firm adherent to the non-aggression principle. I do not believe in doing violence to people. You want to bring violence to me? I will defend myself, and I will defend those I love. But that doesn't mean I'm going away, and that doesn't mean I cannot find you wherever you land, Ryan Moeser. That doesn't mean that I cannot make sure that every week we remind everybody in the state of Minnesota, what the Minnesota State Patrol and the Minnesota Department of Public Safety, what the Dakota County Attorney's Office and the Sherburne County Sheriff's Office and the Sherburne County Attorney's Office, that we cannot remind you all the time, every day, what you let slide because you needed to protect one of your own. We're not going away. So screw you if you think I'm a scumbag, because I want to hold this scumbag accountable. I'm the problem. I'm the problem. I want to introduce you to Blake and his family now. I want you to meet his friends, and I want you to see who they're dealing with. They messed with the wrong people here, folks. They mess with the wrong people. You think I'm tough on these guys? They mess with the wrong family. Now I want to introduce you to Blake and his family. Say hello to people I've come to love.
Steel in my badge, salt on my boots, sirens like a crowd, dripping from my rounds.
I'm turning into a bit of a fanboy
Of
over
course.
this device, just because of how
Stupid
many
ads,
user requests
TC.
they have.
Super Ryan in the mirror, press stitched on my chest. Every mile a little kingdom, every stop another test. Taking Halo on my shoulder, like the scripture in my head. If I want it, then I take it. This is my promised land.
What up, my way?
On my way. I am the him of the road, and the road. I got friends in the flame, and the fuel. This is a joke, and the joke is on you. Get out of my way.
It happens to you.
Watch it shimmer. Sheriff's cleaning every glare. Cuddle shadow on my radio. Whisper son, we'll get you there. Simple line on my license. Throwing junk around your doubts. Every broken bone a secret. Every scream I drown out. Get out of my way. I am the hammer, the road, and the road. Get out of my way. I got friends in the flame and the fuel. Get out of my way. There's a joke and the joke is on you. Get out of my way. Back the blow until they can show you. I don't see faces, just targets and threats. I don't see futures, just numbers and bets. Step to the side of your in my file. Privilege is baked in a crocodile smile. Dark blue line like a barbed wire spine. I sit tall, I am fall in a straight red line. Every consequence buried in a paper tray. Privilege in my palms, soul in the bed. Get out of my way. I am the hammer, the road, and the road. Get out of my way. I got friends in the flame and the fuel. Get out of my way. This is the joke, and the joke is on you. Get out of my way. The blow until they come to show you. April 9th off Minnesota Road. Red and blue flashed and everything slow. Blake on the gravel, breathing turned thin. Cold night air cutting through his skin. Mama Tricia screaming, baby, stay away. Bailey on the shoulder, hands start to shake. Brothers praying hard on a shaking phone line. Granddad whispering, God give us time. Blake strong, he ain't going under. Hard like a storm, rolling with the thunder. Make it right, their reports try to twist what went wrong. But this family's loud and this family's long. We're standing up tall every night, every dawn till justice is found.
Take a picture of everybody with you. Oh, your crew? Blake, did you get to meet Todd yet?
We haven't met yet. So.
Oh, you haven't? Todd?
I'm the loudmouth that talks about you. You look like you're ready to go home. Yeah.
Yeah, you want to go home.
I sent something for you, so because I know you're gonna get cold this because you're gonna be like skiing and stuff, right?
Yeah.
You're gonna put some treads on this, and yeah. I don't. Go ahead. Wow. I don't say things like this very often, but I don't have heroes in my life, but I have people I admire, and you are on the top of the list to see the way you fought through all of this. So we're gonna keep telling your story. So a lot of respect for your willingness to fight and for your family and everything that they're doing. And if you guys ever need anything, you let me know. My audience is very much paying attention. So.
Rolling with the thunder, they can ride their reports, try to twist what went wrong, but this family's loud and this family's long. We're standing up tall every night, every dawn till justice comes knocking. Blake strong, Blake strong. Hey, we're standing not breaking till the cover-up's gone forever and always. Blake strong, Blake strong.
If you like that little mini documentary that I put together with the pictures and whatnot, please find it on my channel and watch it and share it so you can feel the full impact of it. Be looking for the music videos that are coming out. See these? This family is full of warriors. And it is not an exaggeration to say that I am in near constant daily communication with Mama Trisha and Sister Bailey. They're not going away. They are some of the strongest people I have ever met. And they didn't deserve this. But I'll be goddamn if I abandon them. Because I'm not going to abandon them. They did not have to let me into their circle. But they did. And it's more than I deserved. They didn't have to trust me. They never had to talk to me. They didn't have to invite me to his rally, his event there. They didn't have to let me anywhere in or near. And if you can watch the original video, and like I said, I'm going to put that up for people to be able to watch. If you can watch how Trooper Ryan Moeser behaved that night. And you can walk away without demanding that there be some form of reform in law enforcement across the board, across the entire country of the United States. If you can walk away and not believe that there isn't a thin blue line of protection for law enforcement, for the entire system, for government, you're hopeless. If you cannot pick up the hashtag justice for Blake, and if you cannot pick up the hashtag back to blue until it happens to you and run with it after watching this, I'm not sure that I want to be associated with you. I'm not sure that I want to call you friend or acquaintance. See, I'm not happy that we have to do this. Doesn't make me feel good. But we don't always do things because they make us feel good. We do things because they need to be done. And if there's the only good thing that can come out of this is that there's a catalyst for change and reform in law enforcement, then that's the good thing. And I will pick Blake up and carry him on my shoulders to make him the poster child for change in this. I know I got pretty fired up and really emotional here at the end, and I'm not going to apologize. This stuff breaks my heart. Please share this out. Share this out. Share out the little mini documentary video that I've made, please. And sometime tonight or tomorrow, the unredacted, unscripted, raw video is going out, and I will be putting this first and foremost into the hands of Brian from Here's the Deal, because I want these people to pay for what they did. Pay for what they did. I don't want Ryan Moeser to ever get another night's sleep. I don't want the colonel to ever get another night's sleep. Sheriff Brott's already decided not to run for re-election, and I hope that this haunts him until the day he dies. Now let's get the Sherburne County Attorney's Office to completely lose all their staff, and the same for the Tacoma County Attorney's Office, because they made the final decision. To Tricia and Bailey and Braxton and Blake, I am so sorry, and I cannot do more. There's not a day that goes by where I do not feel like I am failing you. And I'm very, very, very sorry. Until next time, my friends. Sic Semper. Tyrannis.
We are going for liftoff in T-30.
Stand by for further instructions, Minnesota Black Robe Regiment.
Secondary guidance systems engaged.
Minnesota Black Robe Regiment, it will be on my mark.
All systems are a go. All systems are a go.
Minnesota Black Robe Regiment, you are over the target. You are authorized to fire at